Hello students, we will continue with the subject microprocessor and interfacing. In this module, we will study data transfer instructions, assembly language programming, programs on data transfer instructions, and arithmetic instructions. So basically, we are going to concentrate on data transfer instruction in this video. These are the data transfer instructions used in 8085 microprocessor that we will be studying in this video. Move R1, R2, move R, M, MVI R, D8, move M, R, LXI RP, D16, MVI M, D8, LDA A16, STA A16, XCHG, LDAX RP, and STAX RP. First is move R1, R2. MOV is a mnemonic which stands for move. This is an instruction to load register R1 with the 8-bit value in register R2. R1 and R2 refers to registers A, B, C, D, E, H or L. Example, MOV B, C. When 8085 executes this instruction, the 8-bit data of register C is copied to register B. Suppose register C has 45H and register B has 23H before the execution of the instruction. Here H refers to hexadecimal number system. So after MOV B, C is executed, register C has 45H and register B has 45H. So by this instruction, the data of register C has been copied to register B, and so the value of register B has been changed from 23H to 45H. Next is MVI R, D8. MVI is a mnemonic which stands for move immediate. This is an instruction to load register R with the 8-bit value given in the instruction, where R refers to registers A, B, C, D, E, H or L. Example, MVI B, 23H. When 8085 executes this instruction, the 8-bit data 23H, which is given in the instruction, is copied to register B. Now suppose register B has 45H before the execution of the instruction. So after MVI B, 23H is executed, register B has 23H now. So the value of register B has been changed from 45H to 23H after the execution of this instruction MVI B, 23H. Next is move R, M. MOV is a mnemonic which stands for move. This is an instruction to load register R with the 8-bit value in memory location. The address of the memory location is understood to be provided in HL register pair, where R refers to A, B, C, D, E, H or L registers. Example, MOV B, M. When 8085 executes this instruction, the 8-bit data stored in the memory location specified by HL register pair is copied to register B. So here the term M refers to the memory location specified by HL register pair. Suppose register B has 45H before the execution of the instruction. Register H has 23H and register L has 01H. The memory location specified by HL pair becomes 2301H. The point to be noted here is the data is of 8-bit and the address is of 16 bits. So 2301H is a 16-bit number, which is the address of the memory location. Now suppose 2301H memory location contains the 8-bit data 52H. So after MOV B, M is executed, register B has the value 52H. So the value of register B changes from 45H to 52H after the execution of the instruction MOV B, M. Next is MOV M, R. MOV is a mnemonic which stands for move. This is an instruction to load the 8-bit value in memory location from the register R. The address of the memory location is understood to be provided in HL register pair, where R refers to registers A, B, C, D, E, H, or L. Example, MOV M, B. When 8085 executes this instruction, the 8-bit data stored in the register B is copied to the memory location specified by HL register pair. Suppose register B has 45H before the execution of the instruction, register H has 23H, and register L has 01H. The memory location specified by HL pair becomes 2301H. After MOV M, B is executed, memory location 2301H has the value 45H. So the value of the data in 2301H changes to 45H. Next is MOV M, D8. So D8 is the 8-bit data. MOV is a mnemonic which stands for move. This is an instruction to load the 8-bit value given in the instruction to the memory location. The address of the memory location is understood to be provided in HL register pair. Example, MOV M, 22H. When 8085 executes this instruction, the 8-bit data 22H gets stored in the memory location specified by HL register pair. Suppose register H has 23H and register L has 01H. So the memory location specified by HL pair becomes 2301H. After MOV M, 22H is executed, the memory location 2301H has the value 22H. Next is LXI RP, D16. Here D16 is the 16-bit address. LXI is a mnemonic which stands for load extended register immediate. This is an instruction to load the register pair RP with a 16-bit value denoted as D16. Next is LXI RP, D16. Here D16 is the 16-bit address. LXI is a mnemonic which stands for Load Extended Register Immediate. This is an instruction to load the register pair RP with a 16-bit value denoted as D16. RP, that means register pair, is referred to as BC, DE and HL. These are the only 16-bit register pairs in 8085. Example, LXI B, 2010H. When 8085 executes this instruction, the 16-bit address 2010H gets stored in the register pair BC. Suppose register B has 45H and C has 23H before the execution of the instruction. So after LXI B, 2010H is executed, register B has 20H and register C has 10H. So the value of register pair BC changes from 4523H to 2010H. Next is LDA A16. A16 is the 16-bit address. LDA is a mnemonic which stands for Load Accumulator. This is an instruction to load the accumulator with the 8-bit data stored in the memory location whose address is specified in the instruction. Example, LDA 2010H. When 8085 executes this instruction, the 8-bit data stored in the memory location 2010H gets copied to the accumulator. Accumulator is also referred to as register A. Suppose memory location 2010H has the 8-bit data 23H and register A has 10H before the execution of the instruction. Then after LDA 2010H is executed, register A has the value 23H. Right? Next is LDAX RP. LDAX is a mnemonic which stands for Load Accumulator, referring to register pair. This is an instruction to load the accumulator with the 8-bit data stored in the memory location whose address is specified in the register pair given in the instruction. So the register pairs are BC, DE and HL. Example, LDAXB. When 8085 executes this instruction, the 8-bit data stored in the memory location given in the register pair BC gets copied to the accumulator or register A. Suppose memory location 2010H has the 8-bit data 23H and register B has 20H, register C has 10H and register A has 10H before the execution of the instruction. Then after LDAXB is executed, register A has 23H value. Next is STA A16. STA is a mnemonic which stands for Store Data from Accumulator. This is an instruction to load the memory location whose address is specified in the instruction with the 8-bit data given in the accumulator or register A. Example, STA 2010H. When 8085 executes this instruction, the 8-bit data stored in the accumulator or a register A gets copied to the memory location 2010H. Suppose memory location 2010H has the 8-bit data 23H and register A has 10H before the execution of the instruction. Then after STA 2010H is executed, register A has 10H and the data in the memory location 2010H becomes 10H. Next is STAX RP. STAX is a mnemonic which stands for Store Data from Accumulator, referring to the register pair. This is an instruction to load the memory location whose address is specified in the register pair given in the instruction with the 8-bit data given in the accumulator or register A. Example STAXD, here D refers to DE register pair. When 8085 executes this instruction, the 8-bit data stored in the accumulator or register A gets copied to the memory location whose address is specified in the register pair TE. Suppose memory location 2010H has the 8-bit data 23H, register A has 10H, register D has 20H, and register E has 10H before the execution of the instruction. Then after STAXD is executed, register A has 10H and the data in the memory location 2010H becomes 10H. This is XCHG. This is an implicit addressing mode instruction. XCHG is a mnemonic which stands for exchange. This is an instruction to exchange the contents of register pairs HL and DE, and it works only on these two register pairs. Suppose register H has 22H, register L has 23H, register D has 10H, and register E has 54H before the execution of the instruction. So that means the HL pair has the value 2223H and DE pair has the value 1054H. So after XCHG is executed, register H has 10H, register L has 54H, register D has 22H, and register E has 23H. That means after XCHG is executed, register pair HL has the value 1054H and register pair DE has the value 2223H. So we'll take the examples of some programs. Write an assembly language program to write 22H in accumulator and copy this data to register B. So we'll write the instructions MVI A, 22H and move B, A. By the first line MVI A, 22H, the 8-bit data 22H gets copied to the accumulator. And by the next instruction MOV B, A, the data stored in the accumulator gets copied to register B. That means after the execution of first instruction, A has the value 22H, which gets copied to register B after the execution of the second instruction. Finally, both the registers A and B have the values 22H. Next is write an assembly language program to write 22H in accumulator and copy this data to memory location 2010H. So we'll write this program like this: MVI A, 22H, MVI H, 20H, MVI L, 10H, and MOV M, A. So by the first instruction MVI A, 22H, the 8-bit value 22H gets copied to register A. By the second instruction MVI H, 20H, the 8-bit value 20H gets copied to register H. Third instruction MVI L, 10H, the 8-bit value 10H gets copied to register L. So the address of HL pair becomes 2010H, which is referred by M. So we will do the next last instruction MOV M, A. That means the value of accumulator will be stored in the address specified by the HL register pair. And the address specified by HL register pair is 2010H and the data of accumulator is 22H. So this data 22H gets copied to the address 2010H location. Next program is write an assembly language program to write 22H in memory location 2010H and copy this data to register B. Program MVI A, 22H, STA2010H, MVI-H, 20H, MVI-L, 10H, MOVB, M. So by the first instruction, MVI-A, 22H, the 8-bit value 22H gets copied to the register A. STA2010H, that means the value of accumulator gets stored to the location 2010H. MVI-H, 22H, that means the 8-bit data 20H gets stored in register H. By MVI-L, 10H, the 8-bit data 10H gets stored in register L. So the address of the HL pair becomes 2010H. Now move B, M. That means the data from the location referred by HL register pair will be copied to register B, and the address referred by HL register pair is 2010H. The data at this location is 22H. It is copied to register B. Next is write an assembly language program to write 22H from memory location 2010H to accumulator. Program MVI-B, 22H, MVI-H, 20H, MVI-L, 10H, MOV-M, B, LDA 2010H. So by the first instruction, the 8-bit data 22H gets copied to register B. Second instruction, MVI-H, 20H, the 8-bit data 20H gets copied to register H. Third instruction, MVI-L, 10H, the 8-bit data 10H gets copied to register L. So the address of HL register pair becomes 2010H. Now fourth instruction is MOV-M, B. That means the 8-bit data stored in register B gets copied to the address specified by HL register pair. Now B has the 8-bit data 22H, and the address specified by HL register pair is 2010H. So 22H gets copied to the location 2010H. Last instruction is LDA 2010H, which means the accumulator will be loaded with the data stored in the location 2010H. That means the data at location 2010H is 22H, which gets copied to the accumulator. So after the execution of this program, the accumulator has the value 22H. Now write an assembly language program to write 22H in register D, 23H in register E, 10H in register H, and 11H in register L, and exchange the contents of D, E, and HL register pairs. Program MVI-D, 22H, MVI-E, 23H, MVI-H, 10H, MVI-L, 11H, and XCH. By the first instruction, MVI-D, 22H, the 8-bit data 22H gets copied to register D. Next instruction, MVI-E, 23H, the 8-bit data 23H gets copied to register E. Third instruction, MVI-H, 10H, the 8-bit data 10H gets copied to register H. MVI-L, 11H, the 8-bit data 11H gets copied to register L. And by the last instruction, XCHG, the contents of HL and DE register pairs gets exchanged. So the DE pair had the data 2223H, HL pair had the data 1011H, and after XCHG, the DE pair has the value 1011H, and HL pair has the value 2223H. Now, what is an instruction cycle? Instruction cycle consists of following steps: fetch the opcode from memory, decode the opcode to identify the instruction, fetch the remaining bytes if instruction length is 2 or 3 bytes, and execute the instruction. So the instruction cycle consists of the T states as we have studied in the timing diagrams. Let us say that PC has C000H as its contents. PC is program counter. Then it means that 8085 desires to fetch and execute the instruction starting at memory location C000H. Let us say at location C000H we have 78H, which is the opcode for the instruction MOV A, B. This instruction needs only 4 clock cycles for the opcode fetch and execution. The action performed by the 8085 in these 4 clock cycles is explained as follows. The content of PC is sent to address latch inside the 8085. It latches onto the value C000H. This value of C000H is sent out on the address pins of 8085 after buffering. The most significant byte of address C0H is sent out on A8 to A15, and the least significant byte of address 00H is sent out on the pins 80 to 87. This is done during the beginning of T1 T state. In addition to address information, status signals are ALE is equal to 1, IO oblique M bar is equal to 0, that means we are doing the memory operation, S1 equal to 1 and S0 is equal to 1, indicating that it is opcode fetch machine cycle. Address information is sent out on 87 to 80 only during T1. In T2 T state, the 8085 stops sending out the address and tri-states 80 to 87. It expects that memory chip should now drive the 80 to 87 pins with the opcode. Logic 1 value is sent out on ALE pin during T1. During this clock period, least significant byte of address is sent out on 87 to 80. The address latch does latching of this least significant byte of address when ALE, which is address latch enable, is made 0 before the end of T1. Only during the beginning of T2, RD bar will be made 0. This enables the memory to output the opcode after the access time of the memory chip. At the end of T2, the 8085 will sense ready input. If it is 0, the 8085 understands that memory is not yet ready to supply the opcode. In such a case, the next clock cycle is not termed as T3. It will be termed as T-wait. At the end of T-wait, ready input will be sensed once again. If it is still logic 0, it enters another T-wait state once again. The 8085 goes to T3 state only when ready signal is at logic 1 when sensed by the 8085 at the end of T2 or T-wait. It is the responsibility of the system designer to introduce appropriate number of wait states if the memory or peripherals are slow. However, present day memory chips and peripherals are so fast that wait states will not be needed for 8085 working at 3 MHz. In such a case, the ready pin can be permanently tied to logic 1. In the ALS kit, ready pin is tied to logic 1. Memory access time requirement calculations are shown by the timing diagrams. Thus, at the beginning of T3, the opcode will be received by the 8085 in the IR register on 80 to 87 pins. During the middle of T3, RD bar is deactivated by the 8085. This results in floating of 80 to 87 lines. Also, ready input is deactivated. Thus, in 3 clock cycles, if there are no wait states, the opcode is received in IR register. The decoding is done in T4 state. The control unit understands that the opcode corresponds to the 1 byte instruction whose mnemonic is MOV A, B. Then it generates control signals such that B register contents are moved to A register via the multiplexer and the internal bus. This decoding and execution is completed in T4. In fact, after activating RD bar during the beginning of T2, the 8085 increments the PC value using the incremental logic. Thus, PC value would have become C001H by the time the opcode is received in instruction register. That is why it is said that PC or program pointer points to the instruction to be executed next. Next are the arithmetic instructions. Add ADDR, ADID8, INRR, ADCR, ACID8, SUBR, SUID8, DCRR, SBBR, SBID8, INXRP, DCXRP, DADRP. So these are the arithmetic instructions we will be studying in this subject. So the data transfer instructions had no effect on the flag register, but the arithmetic and logic instructions do affect the flag registers. When we perform addition ADDR, so by this instruction, the data given in the register is added with the data of the accumulator, and the answer is also stored in the accumulator. Right here, R, as I have told, refers to the registers B, C, D, E, H, L, and also register A. So you can also add register A with a register A, and the answer will be stored in also in a register A. So here the flags are carry flags, auxiliary carry flag, sign flag, parity flag, and zero flag. Their positions in the flag IC is given as sign flag is in 8th bit, zero flag in 7th bit, AC in 4th bit, parity flag in 2nd bit, and carry flag in 0th bit. Some bits are vacant. So these individual flags are either hosted, that means set to 1, or reset to 0, depending on the result of the execution of the arithmetic or logical instruction. But in few arithmetic and logic instructions, some or none of these flags are affected. Now, for example, we add 45H with F3H. So by executing the instruction ADDR, suppose we are having example ADDB. B is having 45H and accumulator is having F3H. So by executing this instruction, 45H will be added to F3H, and the result 38H is also stored in the accumulator. But we have a carry flag here. When we add 45H with F3H, the answer is 38H, which is 0011 and 1000 with the carry flag 1. This is how the addition and subtraction values changes the value of flag registers.